Aloha mai kako, a Kamamata Curtain Call, a program of reviews, previews, interviews, and features of and or with the great art and artists on Maui and beyond. I'm Paul James Brown. If you find yourself depressed about the state of the world, hele on over to the Hui No'eau and get a big dose of hope. More than 200 youth from 6 to teens and tweens participated in the Hui's annual summer arts programming. Their creations are on display until August 26th. The level of sophistication and creativity the teaching artists brought to these young people is astonishing. The outstanding 6 teaching artists for this program are Kayla Kahikina, August Reed, Pam Hayes, Tanya Delorey, Annie McPherson, and Claudio Marquette. They expose these young participants to the greats of the 20th and 21st century: Warhol, Jasper Johns, David Hockney, Robert Rauschenberg, Yayoi Kusama, Dali, Franz Klein, Mark Rothko, and some of the artists added Jackson Pollock to the mix. This exposure set up projects where the youth were inspired by or reacted to the works of these masters. In this project, during the final week of the program, Claudio Marquette had his 8 to 10-year-old students explore the world of animals from the perspective of insects. They drew their inspiration from the works of Yayoi Kusama, an artist renowned for her perspective and visual ideas. They employed her techniques to create these wonderful multimedia works. In a project entitled The Labyrinth of Babes, 6 and 7-year-olds were asked by teaching artist Kayla Kahikini to look at the works of Robert Rauschenberg and the Neo-Dada movement. Here we see how they chose to respond to the challenge. Kawi Vailani Uveko Olani de Cambra seems to have gotten Rauschenberg. Their second session for the teens and tweens, teaching artist Pam Hayes used the strong black of Franz Klein, as you can see there from these Sophia Haney's, and then Kailana Hagen seems to have taken Klein into the realm of Jackson Pollock. Isabella Kutch looks to have taken Mark Rothko to another level in this work. Then we have some work that is definitely Jasper Johns, inspired by Annabella Charles and Kailana Hagen. Finally, this one by Kelsey Laurie seems to most successfully combine all the inspirations, including Pollock as well. Music is oral painting. For this project, Mr. Marquette tasked his 6 and 7-year-olds to find inspiration from the opera set designs of David Hockney. These are their watercolor renditions of sets for a grand musical performance. I would have loved to know what music they were thinking about. Tanya Delorey tasked her 6 and 7-year-olds to create works of art from palm fronds based on archetypical tribal patterns and on the abstraction of Salvador Dali. Kalia Andaya Canela seems to have honed in on Dali most successfully. Ms. Delorey took her 8 and 10-year-old students on a time machine back to art icon Andy Warhol's factory. They were asked to use this photo of the master as their inspiration, and they were allowed to paint the portrait as they saw fit. Jack Halls were the most Warhol-esque. Mr. Marquette's 6 and 7-year-olds were exposed to the wonders of one of our most amazing endemic trees, the Ohia Lehua. The students were asked to imagine an ancient time when land was being born and the role of our Ohia trees. These are all watercolors. What incredible work! Mr. Marquette introduced the ancient art of paper modeling, sumin agashi, to his 8 and 10-year-olds. This is a technique where the ink floats on the water, causing the design to constantly change. He compared it to the lunar cycle. These are the exciting results of this class. There isn't just two-dimensional work. Ms. Kahikina asked her teens and tweens to come up with alien alter egos in clay. They were also asked to imagine what galaxy they would come from and what planet they would call home. Annie McPherson got her 6- and 7-year-olds to imagine they were traveling on a space canoe around the planet. It kind of reminded me of Around the World in 80 Days. This is Avery Stetlow, Adele Israel, Aria Hinojosa, Vivian Laurie, Nadia Cannon McDonald, Presley Reedy, Ho'opalapa'a, Kahalia Andaya Canela, and Jagger Cole Arledge. There are several other excellent projects, including an interactive one where there are instructions, supplies, pre-cutouts, and materials for viewers to create a leipo'o and a crown. The title project, when entering the show, is Ms. Kahikina's 8- and 10-year-olds, who were asked to create collage self-portraits using Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass as backgrounds for these works. This is Luana Fitch's, Kiana O'Connor's, and Isabel Mazingo's. There are so many other projects using CDs, paying tribute to outstanding persons, exploring dragons and fish, music, and even octopus. This 2022 edition of the Hui No'eau's annual Youth Art Exhibition is an injection of optimism and hope for the future. The creativity, talent, and skills demonstrated by these young people is a tribute to the innovative projects given to them by this exceptionally inventive and challenging staff of teaching artists, providing them the freedom and imparting the skills to express themselves in these excellent works. But more importantly, these young people have been exposed to the great artists of this time, and this exposure has both expanded and inspired them. If you want some good smiles, warm feelings, and I guarantee a sense of confidence in the future that will make your day, and maybe even your week, and who doesn't, Hele on over to the Hui No'eau Makawao from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Wednesday to Saturday until August 26th. Every project has a clear label identifying the week of the program, the source of inspiration, the ages of the artists, the name of the teaching artists, and the title of the project, along with a map identifying each of the artists. Be prepared to read all of this information. It is essential to not only your understanding of what you will be observing, but will enhance your appreciation for it. Well, that's Curtain Call for this week. Mahalo nui loa for tuning in. I'm Paul James Brown. Hui No'eau.